Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this one being a brand new video. Because I recorded yesterday, I recorded me getting Ayato mask, but before that I forgot to pull the winners from yesterday's contest. So I went ahead and I'm going to be recording this. We'll throw back to when I got Ayato, then we'll be doing some real-time PvP with Ayato instead of this episode. So let me get to announcing the winners. Okay, so on the last episode, the question that I asked was a question which was, of the last batch of SSR characters, who do you think was the best? And of the new batch of SSR characters, who do you think is the best? So the options would be any of the characters you see on the top here, Kuroiwa, Noro, Shachi, LeaIsChill, Gourmet, and so on. And then at the bottom you would see Shinohara Arata, Wounded Kaneki, Hakuja, Mask, and Yoshimura Owl. Alright, so the first winner of the code is Alex Stam. Just read the description, looking forward to your review on Ayato. Also, I think that the best SSR from the old batch is LeaIsChill. When you get into 5 stars, he starts giving shields to everyone constantly. Currently, the best DPS SSR I would say is Wounded Kaneki. His first looks so good while the rest of his skills, as well as the rest of his skills. Still early for me to judge, but I know if I see some gameplay and reviews. Heart emoji and much thanks. Actually, Alex Stam has been around for a while, so I'm really happy that I'm able to, like, I don't know, engage with the person. It's really cool to see people that have been around for such a long time. And that's gonna be the first winner. So feel free to contact me via email and or Twitter even. You could just tweet me and I'll send it over there. The second winner, it goes to Ice Wolf. Great video and props to you, but I think the original batch would have to be Hakuja Yamori. You know, I need to fix how I pronounce Kakuja. Kakuja? I don't know how to do it. People are complaining about it. I don't get it. People also complain about how I say Yamori, and some guy told me I need to pronounce it Yamorty. Shout out to Rick and Morty, I guess. But yeah, because once you get into a gold quality, he's basically unbeatable. Because of his opponent, because of his shield, and the new ones, is probably going to be Hakuja Kaneki, just because he has a 6x attack, which is really good, and the attack that pulls people in front of him is OP. Keep up the great work. Also, if I win this, my Instagram is jsavage22. I probably wilt. You're my favorite YouTuber, by the way. Cool emoji thing. You said character again, my Twitter, and so on. All right. Well, thank you for entering. I picked this one specifically because it was the best example of why kind of you get a general sense of, like, most of the people in the comment section said that Hakuja Yamori was the best of the old batch. A lot of people said that Hakuja Kaneki is the best one in this batch. So I tried to get kind of the pieces of each different side of the argument and pick people that said different things, so you can kind of get an input on what SSR characters are good for what. Yeah, feel free to contact me via email as well. All right, and the third winner of the new batch of codes with the Juzo Scorpion is Bear Lover. First of all, love the name. I really enjoy your content and always find your videos very helpful to be better in this game, especially when I play on iOS and did not get the update yet. So about your question, from the previous SSRs, I would say the second after Noro is Shachi. He has a really good skill set, semi-range, and not that huge cooldown. He's my gameplay style, however, he's even better with Noro because of the attack speed boost. And of course, don't forget about his passive, which gives all allies extra damage and is super helpful in Ghoul expulsion. The new SSRs, and it's the same thing that we've had the other ones. It's Hakuja Kaneki. The dash makes him fantastic, the attacks make him fantastic, but then this person said a second part to it. But to be honest, Wounded Kaneki looks pretty good as well. I'm really curious to see which one will turn out better. My final guess is going to have Hakuja Kaneki, but I would love to see gameplay of him. P.S. The blank symbol is a symbol that represents the Greek letter delta, often used in math and physics. You welcome. Tries to ruin my life forever. Fun fact, actually. I wholeheartedly thought, I didn't want to say it aloud, because I didn't want to be judged, but I wholeheartedly thought that that symbol right there was Omega. And I'm glad that I didn't say it aloud, because then I would have been exposed for the person who didn't complete. Well, I completed math. Wasn't a huge fan of it, obviously. You've seen my videos. But yeah, thank you for the entry, and Bear Lover, I appreciate it. The next two we're going to be announcing are going to be the ones that won the older codes, the ones that give diamonds specifically. Of the old SSRs, Yamori is probably the best, simply because his shield ability makes you invincible. You spam the shit out of it, and he has a high DPS output and healing ability, which makes him a great unit. It was very to the point, and I selected this one because you guys upvoted it, so I figured you guys believed in Alex right, and I think you were right in that. And the second one is, out of the new SSRs, I'm thinking Hakuja Kaneki because of his OP abilities, potentially high DPS, and not to mention he has a dash which brings people in front of him, which is OP AF. Fantastic. Alex Wright, thank you for entering. And I've seen you around as well. It's really cool to see people, I don't know, just sticking around. Feel free to email me if you want. And the final big winner. I can't read all of this, but this person went all in on doing damage calculations, on doing just different sets of what the comparisons are. I'm not going to read the entire thing off, but if you want to pause and read it, you can feel free to, or you can go to the imgur in the description to be able to see the full comment, as well as all the comments that entered in this entire section of the video. So yeah, the winner was Marvelous, and they put out a lot of work into this, and I really, really, really do appreciate it. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys a short flashback to me pulling Ayato, screaming about it, testing out his moveset for the first time, and then we'll come back to the current time, and we will go ahead and do some real-time PvP. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new video. So, I recorded or technically for you guys, I recorded yesterday, but for today, I'm recording today. It's a weird system. I recorded the video earlier today, and then literally an hour after I recorded it, Ayato Kirishima bracket mask. The fact that there's spaces between the brackets and the mask thing seems weird to me, but that's stylistic choices. He was dropped in the game. And as you guys know, our goal is complete collection. And while you can grind him out inside the point game mode, I'd prefer to use these pieces I get from that on 5-starring him. And for now, let's get some pulls done. Now, our goal is just to get him today, and I'm going to save the actual full showcase for tomorrow, so I'm going to save all of the kind of dailies I need to do for him. Our goal is to get him today, see his moveset. I'm going to just kind of play around with him and upgrade him. And then tomorrow we're going to have a proper showcase where we fight the point challenge game mode. Fingers crossed right here that we get some good luck. This first one isn't seeming too good, mostly because, like, it didn't have the pull pop up, so obviously we didn't get him. I do notice that his icon, when you see it in a bigger form, is actually really cool. We can get some good luck here. That'd be cool. Granted, if I got 2 pulls of him, would that matter that much? I mean, I guess it'd be cool, but I don't know if I really care all that much. Either way, we're up here. It is really loud for me still. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down. Come on, big pull. Oh. Yeah, that's about how it goes. I don't think I've ever gotten SSR character before 7,500 gems. Don't quote me on that, but I'm fairly sure that's the case. That's really sad, actually, thinking about it. I am noticing that I just spent... Oh. Cool. Is that my luck point one? I noticed there was no pop-up there. Did they remove the pop-up for the lucky points thing? I mean, that's alright, because that's still pretty cool. Honestly, I'm quite happy with that. And the fact that I have him now, let's go ahead and see exactly what he has to offer. Hello, Ayato Kirishima mask. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I can't really do much with you, to be honest. I can upgrade you as much as I can, but, like, that's really not that much. I mean, I want to just save the showcase even with his normal skills for tomorrow. Because, like, this doesn't seem like we're going to be able to do much. I don't even know what game mode I could do right now that I would be able to play as him and actually effectively do anything. Here, let's go ahead and sweep a couple more. Come on, give me one more. There we go. Cool. I need one more of these green ones. You know, it's weird because I have every tier of, like, upgrade material aside from +1 green. That's the only one that I am, like, lacking on completely, and I don't know why. There's no real reason that I should be lacking that much. But here, so change. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Oh god, it looks so weird that he's all the way up here. Is it because they're organizing it by, like... Are they organizing it by SSR now? That's strange. Okay, so I'm just going into the Ghoul expulsion first level. Our goal isn't to kill the Kaneki, so hopefully Banjo doesn't go be his godlike self. I want to see his attacks. So it's first a very small hit forward, and it gives him the shield. I don't know if the shield has a cap on the amount that he's able to take. I imagine it would because it says multiplied by his attack, but I don't know what that means. His second is a pretty lackluster, like slight oof forward. And then his third is he becomes Earphone Jack from My Hero Academia and just shoots out these speaker attacks. That actually goes quite far, I just realized, because you can see the shards fly forward. I wonder if that would do damage from that far away. Interesting. And his, yeah, so his normal attacks are ranged attacks, though we have two big, like, far away ones, and then one that's super close to him. Are you meant to be having them, you're meant to bait them into coming towards you and then use those? And this is just like, that's quite cool. I do want to see it from the side, though. So that's basically like another version of his normal attack, but like, it seems to be quite effective. Here, let's see what his third is from the side, and then we'll be good to go to just go ahead and jump to tomorrow. Third. That is so cool. That effect is really cool. Huh. Here, okay. Kaneki, I'm gonna come over to you. Sup? I'm not gonna be able to show his damage properly right now, because he's still at green tier. I'm actually really interested in his moveset, and now that I have seen it, I do think he could be a really good character in terms of real-time PvP. I do want to try him. You know what? Alright, so for me, there was no gap in time between the earlier part of the episode and now. So this is going to be a really weird thing. Welcome back. So, in the last section, the last thing I did in the last episode, or earlier part, yesterday for me, today for, it's weird. I got Ayato, and he has been fantastic for me so far. The issue that I've been running into is that I had no EXP potions to be able to put into him. So what we're going to do, I'm going to play as Ayato here. We're going to run a team of pretty decent SSRs, and we're going to try and get past the EXP potion quest, level him up, rank him up, and then try and use him at real-time PvP. And honestly, he's been doing really well for me so far. I ran a few things last night because the season was ending for real-time PvP, and like I figured I should probably end up just getting it done. Because in all honesty, while I do like the real-time PvP and how it came out, they released it on a Friday, which was 2 days before it resets on Sunday night. So basically you had 2 days to grind up to Challenger, or you would get nothing off of it. It was really weird that they ended up doing that for their big drop of the event. They could have just dropped it on Monday and been fine, but... Or like, waiting till iOS gets it would be cool as well. But either way, it's not too bad, and I'm noticing that Ayato's third pushes the enemies really, really far back. Since he is a ranged character, that's fantastic for trying to zone out enemies. Like here, go see Shachi and Noro. Just like push them all the way back. I'm really happy with how he is. I see a lot of people trying to judge Ayato for what he isn't. I know there's issues with him that his passive doesn't stack with his normal, or his passive doesn't affect his skills at all. His skills typically are focused entirely on mitigating damage and trying to get people to be unable to run away from you. But his passive is based on his normal attacks, so there's no synergy there. I do agree that that's not a great thing, but I definitely do think that he has a lot of potential just in general as a good character in terms of real time. Primarily real time, if I'm being honest, but we're gonna upgrade him as far as we can here. That's not too bad. If I can get a few more EXP potions and a few more evolutionary cells, we could probably get him to purple today. That would not be too bad at all. Either way, so what we're gonna do, I'm going to have an escalating set for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch around my team. We're gonna try to do just a basic rundown. Okay, so this is going to be our team. We are going to start off with probably Banjo as our first character. Then we're going to go to Kori Ui. We're going to go to Ayato. We're going to go to Corona. We're going to go to Young Arima. It's going to be similar. I showed my friend a screenshot of the team I was running last night. It was this team, and they were talking about how it's like a gym leader. How you fight the weakest Pokemon first, then every single time you fight a new character, they get stronger and stronger until you reach 150,000 RC. This kind of guarantees that we'll have a little bit more interesting matches, and also if we match up with people that are a little bit on the difficult side, I could just pull my Irata and my Young Arima in and just crush them like that. There are people that are stronger than me, obviously, by a lot, but typically I won't be showing those battles because it's either I get swept or we have a pretty even battle and I guarantee the win at the end with the better characters. I think it's going to be really fun. So additionally, we have 162 hours until the daily or the weekly reset. And our goal, they reset your battle points fully. We knew that, but you do keep your point currency. So once we get up to about this point, I will be ready to get at least 10 pieces of Ayato Kirishima. Either way, we're in bronze. We're probably going to run into the scariest people possible. Let's get into it. And I think that's a good team. The Arata Kuroiwa is mostly so that if I run into a team that has like 700,000 power, I can just put him in and not really lose. So let's go. Oh wow, instant load in. I thought I was gonna have to cut. That's like, I usually do like these transitions where I say like one word and I leave it so that it can fade in the next segment, but it's working. This is fine. Oh no. Oh dear. Yeah, your RC is lesser than Banjo alone. That's how you know that Banjo is real good. Apparently, people actually believed my value of N video, where I talked about how good Banjo was. I'm happy. The purpose of that video was entirely sarcasm, and the idea that people didn't entirely get the sarcasm, despite like everything pointing towards it, is really, really great to me. It makes me really happy. I don't know, it just strong. Here, I'm gonna cut forward because they seem to be taking a hot minute, but I have a feeling this isn't gonna be that great of a match. Yeah, I do believe that Ayato is a really good character inside this game. He's kind of been probably the most fun character I've played in a while. Or character. No F's. No F's in this house. I'm so sorry, Kaneki. You deserve so much better. You know, people get on my case about the pronunciations a lot, and I do try and improve them as I go, but it's a lot more difficult to change how you pronounce things than I expected. And like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's interesting because like when you grow up saying things a certain way, you just kind of don't get. It's really hard to swap how you kind of just control how you pronounce things, especially when you're being judged for it. It's really interesting because, for example, one of the YouTubers that I watch, I'm not gonna say names. They say gist, G-I-S-T as gist, and they just enjoy saying it like that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that Marude, I'm sorry. There you go. Big rip. Actually, did Corey Ui have like a good... Did Corey Ui even have a story inside Route A? Like, I'm trying to think. I don't remember Corey even appearing inside Route A at all. I'm surprised they made a character of him, if I'm being honest. Like, obviously in Re, he plays a huge part. In Re, he's like one of the most important characters in the series and becomes like a focal point of a lot of the situations. But in the original Tokyo Ghoul, we had nearly no focus on Corey Ui, and I don't believe I remember a majority of the scenes that he would have appeared in. I remember that the Owl Suppression arc, he was there and present inside the armor during the fight on the roof, but that's about it. I don't remember anything else about it. It's really strange. Even, I remember Hirako more from the original series than I remember Corey. Alrighty, let's get to it. Hopefully this is going to be a pretty... Oh, this is pretty balanced, actually. I have 549, they have 375, and I'm using characters that are pretty on the lower side. I have characters that have upwards of 150,000 power. So my original team is actually going to be like super on par with this person. It definitely is a lot more fun to do PvP in the earlier stages of the game, in my own opinion. It definitely seems like the lower power battles take longer, and you kind of get more strategy out of them, rather than just kind of, oh, I have 6 SSR characters that are all gold. Bye. And then you just crush it, and it's super sad. Okay, I'm going to use this as my team. So obviously at the end, my young Arima should be able to sweep past the enemies, but for the most part, I think this is going to be pretty even. I'm really happy about this. Hello, Zombie XX Land. I enjoyed that movie quite a bit. Actually, aren't they making a sequel to Zombieland? Like, I'm pretty sure they announced that at some point, where like Tallahassee is coming back or something. Like, it's gonna be a good time. Additionally, I don't think Banjo has the DPS to beat Arima X7, if I'm being honest. It seems like he's definitely lacking. Though, if I just don't attack his shield, it shouldn't be too bad, to be honest. Like, I'm doing decent damage, and I do have a swap in afterwards that I can bring in. Obviously, if Corey dies anyway, it's not going to matter, because, like, Arima X gets swapped out regardless. If I can get an advantage, that'd be good. Alright. I don't see this going too well for Bonjo, unfortunately, but we'll see. Also, Bonjo's a really weird character because his third doesn't push enemies. So, like, you can't catch an enemy with his third and kick them forward because it just goes past them. Your goal is meant to be to, like, dash into them, and, like, the end of the hit should be hitting them. Like, you're meant to do, like, this. But it's so hard to aim on real time because you always glitch into different directions. Like, if I go like this, you can see I'm always jumping around. It's weird. It's definitely a weird time. Alright, keep on slamming. Granted, I don't know how focused people are in this game on, like, having fun. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to people other than me? Because, like, in this game, typically people just want to advance. They just want to get their level up, get their wins, and get out. If I'm playing a team where the battles take longer because I'm using shittier characters and the end character is my hard carry because I want to have more fun, am I just ruining the experience for other people? I'm unsure. I'm unsure if I'm just, like, if I'm being the asshole here by using characters that aren't going to just break the game, or if it's just kind of a more fair fight. I don't know if I should just have one swap in and just have, like, a team that's entirely based on lower level stuff. It's weird. It's definitely weird. Either way, whatever character I use is going to have a good build, so it's just kind of a matter of me selecting who I want to use for that time. Like, I haven't played as Corey Ui ever, other than, like, the last couple days, so it's good to see the moveset even. Because, like, his first is a dash, his second is a slight attack, and his third is a spin that pulls them in front. I believe it pulls in front. He's also an MT character, which is interesting. You don't really see many of those that can actually hold their own that are SR characters. I also have him at 4-star, so, like, he's quite close to getting to 5-star. Hello, Eto. Goodbye, Eto. Honestly, I'd be really interested to see how Ui were to deal with, like, bigger enemies. Because for the most part, we see Ui fight characters that are on, or characters that are on the lower side of power levels. For example, we see Corey Ui fight, I'm trying to remember. I'm, like, losing it now. In the auction, we see we fight a lot of different characters, but not really. None of them really offer this huge, like, threat for the most part. It's weird. I do think that Ui is a good character, though. Character. Alright, so this is probably gonna take a while, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to use 2 support and MT characters in a row. Well, it's DPS land. You know, I feel like I should probably start selecting characters that are entirely DPS, or only selecting characters that are DPS against characters that are support. Because, like, these situations happen a lot where one person can't do enough damage to actually justify fighting, but the other person does so much damage that they're just, like they do just barely enough where you can slowly, like, whittle down the enemy, but it's not nearly enough to actually beat them. Additionally, Ui gives himself a shield with his first. So, like, I'm getting a shield and, like, healing for the most part every single time I use my first strong attack, which comes back every 6 seconds. Oh, Eto, you're healing. Do you really want to make this longer? I don't think that's going to be conducive to living right now. And there goes Eto. Unfortunately, it did take the entire time because Corey Ui doesn't do enough damage at all. But, you know, I selected Corona as well. This may have been a mistake, though it's a Noro. That's all right. I'm gonna shoot my ball. Doesn't really do much because I have no companions, I just realized. And this shouldn't be too bad. I do have a 5-star Corona, and, like, wow! Yeah, Noro's nerf really, he's not doing well. He's definitely not. When you can be beaten by what the tier lists call the worst character in the game, that's probably a bad thing. Well, the tier list only rank characters that are on the SR and above scale, and she's known as, like, the worst SSR, or the worst SR character in the game at this current point. Here, I'm gonna put this ball. You want that ball? Do you like that ball? That's my, Vegeta attack. It's like a big bang attack, but it's, like, purple like Gallic Gun. It's okay, it's a mix. Corona's actually Vegeta's kid, fun fact. He taught her everything that she knows, but she took off in the middle of it. Like, when they were super young, Nashiro and Corona, they actually took off. They went to an orphanage because Vegeta wasn't that nice of a parent. He would hit them. It was just a bad time. Like, he tried to hug them once and broke half their bones, so they ended up, they went to go party with Kano. Well, they went to go party at an orphanage and met Juzo, then they went to go party with Kano. God, what is this headcanon we're creating right now? Alright. Hey, Rize, let's turn the volume up! It looks like a speaker to me. I'm sorry. It looks like a speaker, and I kind of love it. Honestly, I'm trying to find someone to data mine the portraits out of the new update, because straight up, if I'm being real with you right now, Ayato's portrait is one of the best in the game. The 2D sprite that Ayato has currently is beautiful. And I feel like it could be so good if I just had the means of using it inside thumbnails. I might just edit it myself, we'll see, but I am giggity goddamn ready. Additionally, there was an error as of yesterday, where if you stayed on the victory screen for too long in deathmatch, the victory screen will disappear and you'll get an automatic loss without gaining any points. So I'm going to try to avoid that. Also, you know what? Let's play as characters that won't get into those lock moments. I'm going to keep Banjo on the team as our first swap in. Corey Ui, I am going to replace you with, you know what? Juzo is a good DPS character. I will take that. And you know what? Corona did pretty good work. I'll keep her. Maybe I will swap Banjo. Banjo, do you want to be a DPS character that's lower? Like, who do we have? Hoji! I have not seen what Hoji has to offer, and he's currently at 4 stars, so he's not that great. But I don't think we've ever actually seen what we can do. Like, I've talked about it. People have been suggesting it. I haven't actually gotten the chance to play as him. Additionally, I do have Hachikawa ranked up to 5-star as well. I believe Hachikawa actually got up to 5-star a couple days ago. Yeah, I just need to work on him, and then I'll be able to do a value of, I guess, R on him. I'm actually really excited about it. Soon. I'll see you soon. But yeah, for now, we're going to use the team with Ayato, Hoji, Juzo, Corona, and then we're going to have 2 swap-ins at the end in case we run into people that are too difficult to beat. I think that sounds good, and let's get to it. All right, so we have roughly around the same amount of power. The first person they chose was Arima Ixa. Okay, I will choose my Arima then. And my second swap in, I'll choose Ayato. Can you pick someone that's lesser? Can you pick someone that's a DPS character at least? Just no shields. That's fine. I'm happy with that. I will use Corona here. I'm going to use... Hoji, you can come on over. Then we have a Hoji. Oh, we actually have a Hoji on the opposite team too. It's Hoji versus Hoji. We're gonna use Kuroiwa on our final oh. What? What? That was gonna be a good battle! No! Oh, that's a shame. I'm trying to select to start the battle. Deathmatch, fight, fight. Already on the team. Okay. That's not what I was asking, though. I was asking if I could start the fight. Start the fight. Start the fight. What? Game, what are you doing? Here, I'll exit fully. What? Sure. It said victory. It said I had a victory. I got points for it. What? What? Why? Huh? But it had me win. Okay, sure. Whatever. I'll take it. I'm probably gonna end up losing both my young Arima and my Shachi to this Arima Ixa because he's so annoying. But that's alright, right? That's just how it goes sometimes. I will be able to use Ayato a little bit more, and we'll see what he has to offer. Also, it says the game is about to start in the background, and it's still loading. This is so weird. This is such a weird, like, system. It seems like it's broken half the time, or just not functioning. It's, oof. Also, I can't do much. You just want to kill me? My damage isn't high enough for me to actually beat you. I am very sad about that. Well, let's turn the volume up at least. Ah! Then it screams. Honestly, the idea, the effects that they put inside this game are incredible. Some of the, like, they overuse swirls a lot for some reason. Like, they really like the concept of, like, things swirling around you or being in spirals. So shout out to Junji Ito. But the thing about that is it creates a lot of effects like Noro, where like Noro gets like this swirl of like blood and death around him. For example, I'd say Rima. Ayato gets like his vortex swirls. I just say it's a good time. I'm really happy about it. This man may have made a mistake by having his top 2 DPS heroes in the first slot when Kuroiwa exists, and I am so sorry for that. Okay, so Hoji, he has a Skyfire, he has a Swirl, and he has a normal fire. I believe it's actually based on normal attacks as well. So Shachi is now swapped out for the opponent. I only have Kuroiwa, and here's the problem with that. Kuroiwa takes no damage. You cannot beat Kuroiwa. No one can, especially when you choose a support character and Noro. It's just not going to work for you. I will be fighting that Tsukiyama Gourmet in a little bit, and that's not going to be a fun time. But at least I could have the chance of winning. You may notice that Kuroiwa is kind of stupidly broken. Yeah, no, he is, and I kind of hate it. And there goes Noro. Once again, crushed. I'm so sorry, Davey BB. Dav BB 97. Shout out to you. I do notice that my thing says, like, my name and then level 44. Is it because that's what level my Ayato is? Does it show your level as, like, whatever character you have selected as your primary slot? Also, Hoji heals. Why? What gives him the ability to heal? Does he have lifesteal? I guess we're just gonna sit here for like 3 hours, so... Great. I do out DPS his heal, though. Very slightly. But it does happen sometime. Oh, no, he healed up to full again. I don't think this is gonna work very well. I don't think this is how this works. Look at this. This is an explanation of the current meta inside this game. You see those numbers that are popping up on Kuroiwa? Those numbers are 1 and 2. I hate it so much. And the worst part, Kuroiwa also heals in his own way. I believe one of his attacks heals him fully. So like, even when I take damage, I just have to use all of my cycle through all of my attacks and I heal it back anyway. It's fucking bullshit. Oh, it's... Even DavBB97 seems to clearly be like... This shit's fucking dumb. This is awful. You know what? I'm just gonna quit out. I don't want to sit here for 9 minutes while I take no damage as Kuroiwa. I don't think that's how I want this to go. I don't think that's how I want this to ever be. So, Kuroiwa, I am swapping you out right now. I need a good MT character that's early on. Oh! Let's go see what our boy Naki has to do. And then, I guess this will be okay. I guess I could probably swap around this arena as well, because it's not like I care about beating people that are higher than me. You know what? Let's use Mado. This is a team of characters that I haven't actually played as before. I guess here's what I played as for a while, but like, Ayato is new, Hoji is new, Corona is new, Naki is new, and Mado is new. That's 5 new characters to play as. Let's do it. Guys, why is there just a stock fire effect on the screen right now? I don't understand. Also, it's the same person as last time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and not do that. Okay, so I went ahead and quit out of that match just because, like, the same person as last time, and it's not really around the same level that I'm trying to play at. So I'm hoping this is going to be a good time, and I'm hoping this is going to be a more balanced match right now. Please. The stock fire effect is gone. Oh, wait, that was weird. That was a weird time. Oh, this is all right. I am going to use Hoji first. I kind of want to see what he has to offer here properly. All right, so this is going to be our comp for now. This is probably not going to be a very even match, but that's all right. I just want to see what they have to offer and what my characters even are at this point. So let's pop the third. Let's make it rain on all of them quote unquote hoes, as they may say. And we'll just go ahead and kill the I can't tell if it's Yobob. Wait, no. I just realized that it's Tokyo and then B. That makes more sense than Byob or whatever it was that I was thinking. Toy Kebab. Whoops. Yes, Tokyo B. Alright, well, Eto, I'm sorry to shoot you down, but there it goes. I get to play as Naki for the first time. I obviously I've played as him a lot inside War Age, and his hair looks a lot better inside War Age. But let's see. His first, small stab. His second, small swipe. His third, small swipe. Wow, that's nothing. Wow, that is like actual... He wasn't given much. I feel like War Age did him far better. In fact, War Age is like, he's actually like one of the best characters in the game. Hello, Tokyo B. I'm sorry that I'm kicking you. You're playing as NRAmon though, so you had to expect this at some point. Alright, let's go ahead and do a couple more swipes. Hopefully, we will be able to play as Corona as well, but I probably should have selected Mado first. I want to see what Mado's moveset even is. For the most part, when I started the game, I just kind of focused entirely on SR characters, never really touched the R characters. Characters. Fuck. Oh, I'm trying. I'm trying my hardest. Here. Arima, do you want a ball? Have a ball. You like that ball? That's good. And it's over. I do like Corona a lot, and I wish that she was better. Like, in this game specifically, she really gets shafted in a lot of things, and inside real time especially, she doesn't really do anything. Her ball it can't bounce to other allies to be able to go back to her, because it's based entirely on, like, going between the allies back and forth. So without another one, she just kind of puts it on the ground, and then just leaves it. Corona, I'm gonna replace you with, Hirako! Hell yeah. Okay, so we're bounced around 430,000 or so. I want to see how this is going to be. I'm really interested. Oh, we're actually pretty even. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Naki. 329,000 versus 425,000 is a pretty solid battle. We're actually really even. We're going to have Hirako versus half Kujimori. We're going to have Juzo after that. Then we're going to do Mado and Ayato. Obviously, my equipment makes me a little bit technically higher in power, but my levels should be far lower. And this person also has Ixa, so Ixa, Black Dog at 4-star, and Afkuji Amori should be alright. This should be a pretty even match. Hey, Curry. How's it going? Hopefully, you're enjoying your time. You know, fun fact. When I was in high school, I took part in the Anime Guild. And because I lived across the street from where my school used to be, like the school I used to attend, I lived across the street so I could go there at like 8:30 and be in class for 8:40. I offered, when they were doing a cafe, it was a maid cafe, by the way, they did get measurements for that. That was a weird time. I'm not going to go too far into that part of it. It was a maid cafe and they had like cross-dressing, and like one of my friends who didn't go by their actual name, they went by Ghibli, decided to make me a maid outfit, and like I put a cat ears on and a cat tail. It was a whole thing. That was, whew. Listen, when I was in high school, I had serious trouble with my masculinity, and that did not help it. I can guarantee you. Obviously, right now I'm very comfortable where I am, but like at the time, whew, that fucked me up a bit. But yeah, so I took part in the cafe, and the issue was that they had to store curry from 8 a.m. or like 7 a.m. or so, whenever they got to school, to after school around 5 p.m. when the actual cafe was starting. So they decided to ask the entire group of people in there who lived like close by, so they can store, like who had a fridge where they could store all of their items. And me being, I want to volunteer for a lot of things. I wanted to just like talk to people for the most part after a while. So I was like, hey, you could go store the curry at my house. So then I had like this brigade of roughly about 10 or so people with so many ingredients, bring them over to my house. I'm gonna store them all in my fridge, and like Afterwards, after school, everyone had to come over here again. It was really weird. Also, Hirako's really fun to play. His third is a spin, his second is a dash, and his first is a really big slam. He was really solid. But yeah, so I ended up storing that. They came over and everything. It was a really weird time. I have a lot of stories that are very, like... They're very weird situations that I didn't really... Logically, you wouldn't really want to volunteer for them, typically. For example, another instance of this anime guild's weird stuff is at one point, someone posted on the Facebook group for the anime guild that I was in and asked if anyone was willing to participate in their student film that featured Slenderman for their project. And it had been 18 hours and not one person had commented. So I took it upon myself to message the person, and so I was going to be Slenderman, please people. They had the suit at their place. I don't come from a lot of money at this current point, so I didn't really have the suit to wear. So they were like, I'll give you everything like that. We'll just take my dad's or something and we can just do that. And I was like, okay, cool. That sounds fun. So they tell me to come to their place on the bus. Around my household, there are several different buses. Ridiculous amounts of buses, if I'm being honest. They go to every part of the city for the most part. And I sat at the wrong bus stop for 2 hours waiting for a bus that had a letter that I was waiting for. B, actually. B was the letter that I was waiting for. There's A, B, C, and D. The issue is the bus stop that I was sitting at only had the numbered ones because the lettered ones were on the other side because it was going different locations the other way. I was meant to get on the B, and so for 2 hours I sat in the same place waiting for the B bus. To no avail. To absolutely no avail. And so after 2 hours, the person that I was messaging, like, oh, it's just not coming. It's so weird. I didn't think to look up. I didn't think to look across the street at the clear indication of other buses with the letters on them. So they say, just get on it. We'll pick you up at the part where it stops. And I'm like, that sounds good. I only had 2 things of bus fare, so I could only get there and back. When you go the opposite way of where you're meant to be going, it's not a great time. So I go halfway down this long stretch of road, which has no other bus stops because it's really far away. And the issue, after I said I started going the wrong way, they said, get off. We'll pick you up at the library that was down the street from my house. The issue is I had already rode the bus for 10 minutes at this point. So the walk back was an hour long. And I already felt bad that I had made this person wait for 2 hours when they already had people over at their house with cameras and stuff that I had to like go and interact with them. So I said, okay, I'll run to the library. You guys can be there and I'll meet up. So I'm in a plain white shirt, rolled up sleeves. It's a button up. It's fucking like 40 degrees. It's basically summer at that point. And I start sprinting full speed down the street, backwards down the bus path that I had taken, because I knew that I couldn't afford to get home if I did take the bus back. So I ran for roughly about half an hour, all the way back to the library. And when I got to the library, the person that was waiting for me was standing there with their head down, no phone out, their hands behind their back, and their mom was standing there beside them waiting. And the feeling I got off of that, the abhorrent air that surrounded this whole situation was so like, the secondhand embarrassment that I have just telling the story is ridiculous. Just the idea that I made this person wait for so long for the sake of just like nothing. Also, this is the same person as last time. But yeah, that whole situation was absolutely just like, thinking about it in retrospective, it just makes me so anxious to remember. And like, fun fact, back in October, I went to an anime convention that's near my house. It's just up the street from me. And I met the person that had I had help during that time, and I actually did dress up as Slenderman during that time, and they did film me, and like we did this whole like we spent the rest of the day basically just recording until it became nighttime and became too dark. But like it was a pretty cool. I never got to see the like end result of it, so I'd be curious to see like what it turned out to be and how Slenderman-y I was, because that was a weird time. That was the time where I was like obsessed with it myself, because I was one of those Five Nights at Freddy kids. So like, whew. But yeah, so that was a dark time in my life. And I met them at the anime convention, and I talked to them. Turns out they've transitioned, and they've kind of found their own voice and become their own person. And it's really interesting to see these people that I used to go to high school with, and these people that I used to know, and just like how they've changed for the most part. Hell, I went to a station, a bus station inside the city, and there's a place I go to get gyros, gyros, whatever you want to call it. I butcher a lot of things. I went to go get one, and one of the people that I used to not look up to, but he was a super popular kid inside the classes for the most part. He was one of those slacker kids that everyone just kind of looks at and is like, oh, you. So I had never interacted with him. He and I had never really seen eye to eye. We would wave in the hall sometimes because it was just kind of this general sense of like, hey, how's it going? There's a lot of people like that I had that I just kind of waved or said hi to. So when he walked up to me inside this place and was like, how's it going? How's everything hanging? And I'm like, whoa, you're talking to me. Holy shit, dude. So naturally, he did the thing where like, he grabbed my hand and like tapped me on the shoulder, and I was like, oh shit, this is cool. This is a good time. Cause like, I never really had that form of, there's an acceptance there where you kind of, you talk to someone, you interact with them, and you kind of get the chance to build a bond and high five together. And I never really had it with this person. So the idea that he would like actually shake my hand and like greet me like that was really interesting. It kind of made me feel like maybe high school wasn't such a bad time despite what it all was. So that was something. We talked for a while. He actually bought my thing for me. He bought my gyro that I had gotten, and I appreciated the hell out of it. It was great. Also, I don't think we're going to be able to beat Marskond, unfortunately. But yeah, I just remembering these high school times and all of these instances where like the people that I barely talk to, the people that I barely even remember me. Because like, while I didn't interact with many people, I was definitely one of the forces in the school that was around a lot. I did a lot of volunteering. I did a lot of different things. I just kind of kept to myself for the most part. So you do get the sense of like, more people knew me than I knew them. I went to the grocery store across the street, and people that look like they're in grade 12, they look like they're like older, go like, did you used to go to that school? And I'm like, yeah, who are you? Who even are you? You're just some random guy that looks super generic that I don't remember at all. I'm sorry. But like, it's interesting how you stick in people's minds, and later on, like, I've heard that high school reunions are especially weird because you find out a lot of people that you didn't really talk to looked up to you in weird ways. And it's mostly for me listening to podcasts, by the way. This is entirely based on me forming opinions based on hearing other people's inputs about high school reunions. So don't trust what I'm saying at all. But it seems really interesting, and I'd definitely be in 10 years. Well, at this point, it would be like 7 years. It's already been 3 years since I left high school. Holy shit. But yeah, in 7 years, when the high school reunion comes around, I am so interested to see just how everything turned out. There's so many people that I was interested in, so many people that I wanted to learn more about. There was a guy that I looked up to that I can now look back on and admit that I had a very, very small crush on. Fun fact. Like, I obviously didn't act on it, and I'm currently in a loving relationship with my partner. She's great. But at the time, I did have like this very faint crush on him, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I just tried to impress him a lot. There's a lot of times where I would, I was in drama class, and he was a drama kid. Yeah, for the most part, there's a lot of times where he would run into situations where he would run the drama club. He would enter competition, stuff like that, and I wanted to like interact with him. So when I got added to his group from the teacher, I was like, I need to show off, I need to be cool. So at one point, I was like, you know, it'd be really cool if we like faked a punch, you know, like this. And I went like this and like tried to fake punching myself, but I actually punched myself in the face. And like the acting I intended to do was like to fall to the ground. The issue is when you actually go too hard and punch yourself in the face and you plan to fall down, you actually fall down. So I punch myself in the face, I fall to the ground, my glasses fly across the room, and I just kind of hit the ground really hard and the entire room goes silent. And I look up at him and he looks at me, my glasses are across the room and broken, and I'm just kind of like, it's so sad, man. It's such a like weird situation. I wonder what he's doing these days. I wonder what he would be up to. Because, like, it was clear that he had a future in drama, and it was clear that... Because at one point, he actually did a competition, and he actually entered a contest to go to a university. Because they were having a competition where high schoolers would enter a competition, and they would be able to compete to get money and funding for a drama department, and, like, for the school. But what you need to do is you need to make your own play and act it out and stuff. And... they got through the first two the first two rounds of the competition and got to a university showing. So the drama teacher, which I had a pretty good connection with, invited me to go and watch. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of down. So I brought the person that I was with at the time, and we both went and watched this, and I was just blown away. I was just blown away by how good the acting was of these people that, for the most part, were just my age. They hadn't really achieved big things. For the most part, I'm so used to people that are on stage and being these big forces to be successful and be special. And the idea that they were just the same people that I was blew me away. And I don't know, just something about that experience really, I think it created my need to perform that I have right now. I do have this like air where I'm determined to get like these thoughts and ideas out constantly, and I want to create, I want to put out these content, I want to get the gratification and show people what I can do. It's really, really interesting. I don't know, is this too deep for an Ayato showcase? Is this too far? I don't know. This video could just be going in a really weird direction. I don't know. I'm in that headspace, you know? Also, this isn't gonna be a fair fight. I'm probably just not... I'm going to give you the win, actually. I don't think I'm too down for this right now. I'll see you in a second. Okay, so this is our first battle. It's been like 10 minutes that it hasn't been completely broken, where the enemy has like gold tier characters. It's unfortunate that we're going to have such a battle that's not that great as the last one, but unfortunately that's the reality of the reality time PvP. You know what I mean? Just, I'll see you in the game. Also, if you guys have been through this whole journey of a video, if you want to comment here, what I even want? Here, comment below vacuum, or put vacuum into your comments at the end to indicate that you watched the entire thing. I'm really interested to see just how the completion amount to videos like this would be on you guys in terms of like hour-long stuff, because this is definitely gonna be like a long time. It's definitely gonna be one of the longer videos that have been released in the last like half a year, so we'll see. And if you guys do enjoy it, I'm definitely down to bring it, as long as I know that people they enjoy it, you know? Either way, Hirako, he does a little spin, has a little dash, and he crushes the Toku Rabbit. Also, the fact that Hirako is just some guy, like he's actually just some guy. Like, he's not like this crazy strong, like, oh, I'm physically enhanced to be crazy good, or I'm born this way to be super strong. No, he's just literally some guy who likes to swing a sword. And that's why he's a good character. I love it. There's something about him that just, like, the concept of his character appeals to me so much, and I feel like he's my dude. Hirako and I, we would hug it out. I'm telling you right now, he and I could share his stories over a campfire anytime, and I would love it. He and I, we could have a bromance going. Either way, I'll vacuum you guys later. Take it easy, and see you guys in the next video.